What's going on, everybody? It's your guy Rome It's back again with another video. Yes, we're back again, and you guys asked for it, and I'm here to deliver my top 10 oud fragrances. Now, if you've been following my channel for a long time, you know I love the note, the extreme exotic note of oud, eggwood, the oils, the perfume, the process, everything about oud. I just am astonished of how they make something that is supposed to smell horrible smell so unique. Now, that's to some people. Some people can't stand oud fragrances. Some people had a bad experience with them because you might have smelled a synthetic version, immature, something that wasn't aged very well. But myself, I've been in this for over 15 years, and I tell you, I found some extraordinary oud fragrances, and the ones that I have in my collection right here, I'm gonna show you just some of them. These are my favorite. These are my top 10 favorite oud fragrances, and I want to share them with you guys. And I want to get your opinion on what y'all think about what I have as oud fragrances. You might see a theme. You might see a little bit of a theme going on. So we're gonna get right into it. But before we do that, please do me a favor. If you have not already, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you get all the notifications when I shoot these videos, because I'm hitting you with some exclusives right now, some bangers. So if that's the type of vibe you like, help a brother out, and I'm gonna help you out. All right, so let's get right into it. Y'all ready to jump into this oud fragrance list? Sit back, relax, get your popcorn. It's about to go down. All right, so I have two honorable mentions before we jump into this. I want to put these in here because these have been on plenty of lists when I talked about oud fragrances, but I just want to let those, I guess you guys that are new to my channel, know about these fragrances. They're not going to be featured. Just an honorable mention. And the first one is Let's Elixir Oud. Now, like I said, this is, in my opinion, one of the most wearable, one of the most exotic oud fragrances you'll have. It's not an extremely animalic oud. It's just a spicy, warm, kind of smoky oud fragrance that I enjoy. And I think it's a great fragrance, but not gonna be on the list because I got some new ones I want to show you. Just honorable mention. I got one more for you. Let's go check that one out. Another fragrance that is an honorable mention of mine, and I truly, truly love this fragrance, but it would be unfair for me to put on a list, and honestly I haven't even reviewed this fragrance because you can't buy it anymore, and that is Killian's Amber Oud. Yes, Amber Oud by Killian is an absolute stunning amber oriental oud fragrance that sweet, warm, resinous. There's no really animalic oud note. There's a woody tone to it, but it's just a gorgeous, lovely fragrance. And I wish I could review it for you, but why do that? I wouldn't put it in a list either because you can't purchase it, and that's a waste of time in my opinion. So those are my two honorable mentions. All right, let's get into the list because I got some bangers for you. Now, the first fragrance on my list is, before I go into that, I want to tell you guys, my channel is not going to do what I see as a trend, right? I don't try to give you a new fragrance after new fragrance, because that's a rat race. You'll never be able to keep up with all the new fragrances that are coming out. I try to cater to newcomers and, old school fragrances, and I try to pick things in between. So when you see my list, you might see some fragrances that came out this year. You might see some fragrances that came out maybe 8 to 10 years ago. But there are a lot of people that just jumped into it this year, last year, don't even know about half of these fragrances. So just a disclaimer, if you see some fragrances on this list or any of my other lists, like, dang, I'm picking up some joints I never heard before because they came out maybe 3-4 years ago and got lost in the mix of all these new joints that keep coming out. So I'm here to hook you up. All right, I digress. So the fragrance I want to show you is an oud fragrance that I smelled about 10 years ago. Fantastic. It is one of the staples in the fragrance game. And I don't have a full bottle yet, but I will get one. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Christian Dior Oude Esprahan. Now, you might be like, oh, Rome, you cheating. So what? But I've had two of these since they came out. And I wanted to buy a bottle, but they changed the formulation a little bit. And not that it doesn't smell the same, it smells exactly the same. But the one I have, or the two I have had, they last forever. These things last 24 hours. The new one still lasts a good 8 to 12 hours. But all in all, it's a fantastic fragrance. I will get a full bottle of it. I just holding on to this because I like the fact that these last forever. So the experience you're gonna get with this beautiful concoction, you're gonna get labdanum, you're gonna get a oud rose combination. But for me, the unique note in the combination of oud and rose is this earthy patchouli. So for me, that is why this is one of my favorite oud fragrances in the world, because that unique combination of florals mixed with exotic woods, and then you have this earthy tone to it, makes this an unforgettable fragrance. So Oude Esprahan is at number 10. Let's go check out the next one. All right, so the next fragrance I have is from one of the coolest guys you'll meet on the fragrance game. This is Joe sent me's fragrance he created called Hardcore Oud. Now, this is why I stress test fragrances out, sample them, wear them, let your body, let your olfactory senses get used to them, because you'll start to, notice the nuances that are unique. This fragrance right here, when I first smelled it, I have to be honest, I was like, it's okay, right? I wasn't really like overjoyed with this oud because I've smelled this particular kind of oud before, I thought. So we have the typical very sweet animalic note when it came to this. But the twist with this one is that this sweetness mixed with this kind of slightly smoky oud gave almost a leather kind of tone with it, which I was pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting this to, I don't know if it's a leather, suede, or whatever molecule that kind of brings that out, but this is a fragrance I say give it about 3 wears, give it about 3 times, and then you'll really start to appreciate this fragrance. Hardcore, yes, this fragrance is pretty strong, not beast mode, but I'll be careful. I would say about 5-6 sprays and you'll be good. But overall, if you want a soft leather but sweet animalic oud note in your fragrance, this is one to check out. And I don't think these are super expensive. So yes, Joe, good job on this one. Let's go check out the next one. All right, so speaking of discontinued fragrances, this one I wanted to feature on my channel because I think you can still get this. And this is absolutely one of my favorite fragrances of all time. And I'm gonna get me a backup bottle. Hopefully they don't try to beat me over the head with a crazy price. But this is another beautiful rose oud combination from Guerlain. And this is from the Middle Eastern collection from like 2012. This fragrance is called Rose de Cri du Désert. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'll put it up here. But whoa, when I tell you guys, this beautiful, sweet jamminess when it comes to the type of rose they use definitely just won the show in this fragrance. Now, the bottles, of course, the I guess the exclusive line of Guerlain does not look like this anymore. But check out their rose fragrances. If you want a rose oud combination, they have one in the new collection. But if you go on like eBay, you can still find this. They might be a little bit pricey. These were like $275 when I got this, so you might be paying between like $4 or $5. But let me break down the notes for you. Okay, so I did say a rose oud combination, absolutely, yes. But what makes this a gem, what sets this apart from any other fragrance, is a combination of a spicy saffron combined with a wonderful, unbelievable patchouli note. Bruh. Spicy meets earthy meets animalistic. Extraordinary bouquet of a jammy rose. And I mean a bouquet of jammy rose. So if you're on the fence and saying, oh, this might be a little feminine, no. Bruh, my guys, if you love rose fragrances, you got to check it out. My job is to give you exclusives, hard to find fragrances. Do the work, go hunting, and I promise you, when you find it, you won't regret it. Let's go check out the next one. Now, the next fragrance, this is actually not a fragrance. This is an oud oil. And this is, or was, one of my first experiences with oud oils. Now, I've smelled them, but I've never purchased one until about 5 years ago, because that's when like the oud craze was like heavy and hyped. And this fragrance company called Oud Factory, I grabbed this joint right here. And this is called Deer Musk. Now, originally called Deer Soul, that was when it first came out, but they changed it to Deer Musk. That's what you can find on the website. But whew, when I tell you, I've never experienced a fragrance that took Deer Musk, and the way he described it is they used a, if I'm saying the word right, tincture process to curate the Deer Musk and combine it with this extraordinary rare agarwood oil. Now you can see, hopefully you can see how dark that juice is. But when I tell you, my guys, just one little dab of this, just boop right on your hand, 48 hours, bro. This thing is beyond beast mode. I've had this for 5 years. Look at that, 5 years, right? 5 years, and it's still not even a dent in this. A fantastic, super animalic, musky, slightly dense, floral, smoky oud oil that if you are an oud lover, now I'm warning you, you gotta be on the varsity team for this one. If you love oud, check this out. I'm gonna try to venture into more of the oud oils, especially like Xerjoff has some oud oils, and Oud Factory, check them out because they also have fragrances that I'm jumping into. I can't wait to review those for you guys. So, yeah. Deer Musk from Oud Factory. Fantastic oud fragrance. Yeah, I got some more. Let's go. The combination of honey, ginger, tobacco, oud, and vanilla has never been done so perfectly, in my opinion. Now, this was executed with perfection, and I cannot stress perfection when it comes to blending spice, sweet, and animalic all together and not creating a disaster. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Oud Affair. Yes, y'all, why y'all not on this joint right here? I don't hear damn near anybody talking about this fantastic, beautiful perfume. Bruh. Like I said, if you want to experience something that has a sweet, warm pipe tobacco with a hint of spices from ginger, a beautiful almost Asian Oriental oud note. This is a must-have. This is such a stunning fragrance. I mean, and also a compliment getter. I've had people ask me what I was wearing. I had a gentleman, when I was at work, I don't know what he was doing, but he circled back to ask me what fragrance I had on. And the way he was asking was like, yo, that, you know how someone want to give you a compliment, but they really don't want to give you a compliment because they think you're going to be like, you think you the man? That's kind of the vibe I was getting. But still, yo, bro, yo, what's that fragrance you got on? That's you? What is that you got on? I mean, I'm just checking. I mean, if it ain't you, that's cool. I smell it in the air. That's kind of what it was like. But all in all, I'm like, yeah, this is Oude Fair, man. This is a great fragrance. Check it out. You will love it. And I'm telling you guys, don't miss out on this. And borderline 24 hours on the wearing process. And the sillage is crazy. I can't even tell you how long. It's just a trail. So, Oude Fair from Wilhelm. I would say this is a masterpiece. Go check it out. Speaking of a masterpiece, the next fragrance I have for you guys is just that, a masterpiece, and a cherished fragrance in my collection. That fragrance I'm talking about is Bodicea Victorious Legend. Let's take a moment and just look at the bottle. Look at, that is just a stunning, beautiful. This is almost like looking at a gorgeous woman walking down the street, in my opinion. Just, come on, y'all. Yeah. But when we're talking about a masterpiece and an oud fragrance, this is one I want you guys to consider. Now, the oud isn't the dominant note in this fragrance. The winner in this fragrance, in my opinion, is the orris and iris note, combined with the soft florals. We have a gorgeous agarwood, but it's very subtle, very meek, but combine that slightly warm woody tone at the dry down, introducing this agarwood note in the mid to the dry down, but with a powdery nuance. You can't go wrong with this. Now, I did a small introduction / review on this about, I don't know how many years ago. It's a few years back, but I only had the travel spray. Stay tuned for the full review on this fragrance because I want you guys, y'all need to experience this. All right? Yeah. Masterpiece when it comes to a fragrance, and a must-have if you like powdery meets agarwood. Bruh. Enough said. Let's go check out the next one. So the next fragrance I have, this is for major leagues. This is definitely for those experienced oud lovers. I would not tell anybody that has not experienced oud and said, yeah, I enjoy it, to pick this one up, because the incense, labdanum, the louse oud, and this beautiful, in my opinion, super earthy patchouli is no joke. But in my opinion, it is an astonishing fragrance. And I'm talking about patchouli oud from Evanescence. Yes, this is straight off the jump gonna give you a intense earthy green patchouli note that has almost a soil-like / spicy opening, combined with smoky incense, and like I said, this almost dense, really old smelling oud. Now, I don't mean old like old people, I mean like very aged oud. The oud almost smells like you can smell the resins coming from the actual agarwood. Like if you ever seen an agarwood being infected by whatever is living in or around the tree, you'll see that kind of resinous sap like seeping from it because it's excreting the infection from the wood. But in between the oud being very animalic and having all those nuances from nature, that smoky nuance that comes with this is unmatched. You've been warned. One of my favorite, bro, look at the bottle. I don't play around. I'm not joking. Look at that. That is halfway done. Another 10+ hour fragrance, but if you want a unique oud fragrance that no one has, trust your boy. Trust me. You'll get major compliments, but you're also gonna get that. What is that? That is unique. That is different. What fragrance are you wearing? That's mostly what you're gonna get because no one is smelling like this. Patchouli Oud by Evanescence, a must-have, and a gorgeous fragrance. That's why it's on my oud fragrance list. We got a few more. It's about to go down right now because these last joints right here are crazy. Now the next fragrance is, I would say the next 3 fragrances would be fragrances that I say are, these are mass appealing fragrances. These are fragrances I think you can wear in any setting because they are fragrances I will wear out, or I have worn out to parties, dates with my wife, just gatherings, and they seem to, garnish a lot of compliments. And this is one of the fragrances that you have to try. This is Alsif from Boadicea the Victorious. Now, this is what I would consider a alternative to Namur. Adding the fruit aspect with this fragrance makes it unique in my opinion. It is not overly animalic, it is not overly floral, but I would say Namur, that one has a tendency to be extreme in both aspects where the oud and rose are the dominant note. In this one, I would say, I would say that the oud is more present, but the fruit aspect behind this, plum, raspberry, I think the citrus notes also, but a saffron oud combination with the rose in this fragrance makes it, in my opinion, the one you can wear out to a lounge, dinner, a concert, whatever maybe. And this is definitely gonna get you compliments. And it's a wearable oud where you won't feel like, oh, am I offending anybody? Nah, this is a banger. So don't get me wrong, Namur is a banger, but you have to love oud and you have to love rose because that's what you're gonna get bam, bam, bam in your face. But this is a lighter version, in my opinion, with a fruit aspect. So go check it out. Man, I'm giving y'all some gems, man. You can thank me later. Let's go check out the next one. Okay, so how I would say this next fragrance, and let me stress, I really wanted to put this in number 1, but the reason why I didn't, because it is extremely expensive, and whatever Boadicea is doing right now, it's not even on the website. It says out of stock. I'm hoping that it comes back. Send them emails because I know this is one of their, best fragrances, but it is also an extremely expensive fragrance due to the oud in here. I really wanted to put this in number 1, but I didn't because I think the other fragrances are a little better. And also what I said earlier. But don't get it twisted. Trust me. Trust me, y'all. This is phenomenal. The fragrance I'm talking about is Nebulous. Yes. Nebulous is and always will be the best oud fragrance in Boadicea's line. Oh my goodness, y'all. Whew. I never smelled a sweeter, more attractive oud in my entire life. This is such a unique and, like I said earlier, a phenomenal creation. Let me give you a breakdown, this picture of what I mean. The beautiful combined combination of saffron meets oud with a beautiful floral violet leaf note in the opening, combined with a kind of crystallized amber. Just extraordinary. In every way I can say or try to paint this picture for you, this is the sweetness is so well executed, combined with this overwhelmingly gorgeous agarwood note. Bruh, nothing will beat this in my collection when it comes to just an attractive oud fragrance. The only reason this isn't at number one because it is beast mode and it's $1,700. So if you got the paper, if you can afford it, go grab a bottle. And I tell you, keep hitting Boadicea up with the emails, the Instagram posts. Tell them to restock it because it's still available. It's just out of stock, I guess, because whatever they had, people bought up. But yes, one of my favorite fragrances in my entire collection, and the best oud fragrance in Boadicea Victorious's line. That's why it's at number 2. Let's go check out number 1. All right, last but not least, this is a fragrance that I consider suited for royalty.
I am King Jaffe Joffer, ruler of Zamunda.
That's best I can say. This is the best and the most precious oud fragrance that I have in my collection. If I was grabbing my fragrances and I had to run out, it would probably be, of course, there's about 5 that I would grab, but this is definitely one of them. And this is Kriegler's Oud for Highness 75. Now, I've talked about this fragrance, I've reviewed it, and just in the note composition, it is a very simplistic fragrance. This is an oriental oud. This is one of the more, I guess, playful, lighter, more delicate oud fragrances you'll come across, because yes, it is very noticeable, but it's a clean oud. This is one of those almost powdery, woody, I wouldn't say animalistic, because no, it doesn't have that grungy barnyard smell. This is elegant, this is clean, and I think those agarwood trees that are grown in Asia, or I guess the eastern part of Asia, kind of develop a little different because of the soil. But when I tell you, agarwood meets honey, saffron, and a beautiful floral note. Unbeatable, an unbeatable fragrance. Now the combination in the dry down of sandalwood and amber creates this, I would say, creamy / crystallized effect when it comes to amber being resinous and sandalwood being creamy and woody. The woody tone complements the agarwood, yes, but there isn't, in my notes when I remember, there isn't a floral note besides the spicy saffron, but that is kind of met with the agarwood simultaneously. So that's not the floral note, in my opinion. The floral note is some type of rose in here, I think, but it's not listed. So maybe that's just my imagination. But an elegant, regal fragrance like no other. And man, oh yes, this is a must-have. Another gem in my collection. Yes, it is expensive. You pay for what you get, and you're in that exclusive club. That's what I try to stress to you guys. Yes, these fragrances I talk about in my channel, I told you they're luxury fragrances, most of them. But it gives you this, I don't want to sound like a snob where I'm saying, oh, you only can get this if you have the money. No, I'm saying if you work hard, you save up your money, and you either splurge once a year or you treat yourself once or twice a year. This is what I do. I treat myself once or twice a year to something that I normally wouldn't buy because I'm not raining dough all over the place. If I see something I want, it's $700-800 or $1,000. I'm like, in the beginning of the year, 6 months, I'm grabbing that. Or the end of the year, I'm grabbing whatever. That's how I want to put it. I don't want to come off like, oh, if you ain't got the dough, you're missing out. Nah. This is a fantastic fragrance. Once you smell it, I'm pretty sure you're going to be saving up your coins to grab a bottle. I got the 50 mil because I don't need a lot. I have so many, and the 100 mil is like, I think it's like $1,000. So, but I'm rambling on. I kind of do that sometimes. I'm letting you guys know this is a must-have, and every single oud fragrance that I've shown you is, if you pick one, you will still be satisfied with the fragrance you get because they are all extraordinary, gorgeous, beautiful perfumes. And I hope you guys pick one. Comment down below if you have any of these fragrances or you plan on getting any. I'm gonna put the link down below where you can purchase all these fragrances, of course. That's what I'm gonna do for my people, y'all, my fragrance family, and I'm trying to hook y'all up. All right, that's it, guys. Once again, I gotta thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank you, God, for allowing me to speak with my fragrance family. Without you, none of this would be possible. All glory goes to you. I want you guys to be encouraged to pray, talk to God in your good times and in your bad times. Try to sit down in a quiet place and meditate on His presence. Try to ask Him to guide you on the journey, the thing you were born for. You know, what were you put here for? And God is the only person that can guide you in that direction. I hope that I'm doing my job, or I'm on that path to what God has my purpose to be. And the one thing I keep stressing, I keep saying to myself, is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That is this wonderful scripture in the Bible in Philippians. I think that's Philippians 4:13. And guys, I'm trying my best. I'm doing my best. That's what I want to say. I'm gonna stop saying I'm trying. I'm doing my best to do God's work, and I hope that it inspires you to do the same. Until next time, like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like Rome. I'll check you guys out in the next video. Until then, peace.
In the New Testament, Jesus' body was anointed with a mixture of myrrh and aloes following his crucifixion.